You are listening to the FTWpodcast.com, where we talk about wrestling in all of its laughable glory. Here's a clip from this week's episode.
Last week, we unveiled our plan to create a Hall of Shame based on the judgment of us fans. The official induction ceremony will take place Saturday, March 31st, and we asked you for nominations, and you sent a ton of them in, and all of them we completely agree on. Now, these nominations are just that. They're just nominations. No. They may make it. They may be spared for another year. That will be up to you, the listeners, as we'll be posting a poll a week or so before the final event to kind of gauge interest, and then we're going to might take an executive decision if we think one is really, really good. For Worst Wrestler, the nominations are Gilbert, Rico, Norman Smiley, Dink, DJ Gabriel, The Great Khali, Giant Gonzalez, Mongo McMichael. That was the one that we talked about the most in pre-show. I nominated the Goon because I hated that. The Nasty Boys, Shockmaster, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Zodiac. He was so bad, he was nominated twice. You can still send in the nominations, as we'll be accepting those for another 2 to 3 weeks. However, we're also going to have a manager's wing. So this week, we need you to send in your list of the worst managers in the history of wrestling. You can tweet us those. You can tweet us those, or you can post them on our Facebook page, or you can email them to questions@ftwpodcast.com. So there's your nominations for the FTW Hall of Shame class of 2012. So I'll be looking forward to when we start doing this. When we start announcing when we have the induction ceremony. That should be pretty freaking awesome. Any immediate reactions to this before we move on to Impact?
They're all good picks.
That's a list of a whole bunch of shitty wrestlers.
Can't really complain about a single one. That's just great.
Okay.
And Rob's just going to growl. All right.
Yeah, Rob's just
I'm caught between the fact that I'm a Chicago Bears fan, so I don't think McMichael should be on the list. But then I'm a pro wrestling fan, and I realize that his moveset consisted of maybe 3 different moves. 3-point stance into he'd do the 3-point stance and charge at you. He'd throw you around a little bit, and then I think he had like the pile driver for his finishing move.
Yeah, but in his defense there, Hacksaw Jim Duggan had those same moves.
This is true.
So there's that.
Suck.
But he also had the 2x4.
Yeah, the 2x4 and the flag. Garv, you're back
that's the thing. Duggan had his own gimmick. McMichael never really developed a gimmick other than just, hey, I used to be a football player. Now I'm a pro wrestler.
Well, that's what... No, all right. Okay.
In the chat, RKO Voices, he is questioning how Norman Smiley got on this list. Diva Jill is also saying don't talk shit about Gilbert. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Freudian slip.
Okay.
Okay.
Jill, you're fired. Get out of our chat.
They're nominations. That doesn't mean they're going to get chosen. These were sent in by people, and we put them on there. Some were sent in more than once. I'm not going to say who, but yeah, they were sent in. We're not the Academy Awards. We're not going to discount people just because some people might like them or not. So Norman Smiley's on the list because someone sent it in. There.
And plus, isn't it because of wrestling ability, not necessarily their persona? It's their in-ring work, right? Or is it overall?
I would say overall.
Yeah, it's whatever you want to choose. That's why you got to do overall. That's why Zodiac and Brutus is on it.
Well, you've heard our thoughts, but now we want to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and even join us live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. at the FTWpodcast.com.